Hi, hello, and welcome. I am Danny Flynn. If you are new here, and this is a little segment that I like to call Girl Talk Live. Okay, so I'm just oiling up over here. I have a very special guest that is going to be joining us. I already have a few folks in. Got a little magnolia happening here to calm me down. It's a little nerve wracking when you go live. But there she is. Hey!
Hi, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
Good. I need to go get my oils. I'm watching you put yours on.
I know. I gotta oil up for these for
Hold
this
on. I
for
gotta
this
get mine.
conversation. Let-
Sweet. I've got mine too.
There you go. Gotta do what you gotta do. Wow. So I'm so excited to have Jenni Rae here with us today. And I already see so many people joining. So welcome. So let me just give you guys a little bit of context of Girl Talk Live. It's something I made up a few months ago. And we had two of them and I had such good feedback. I thought I wanted to continue it. So it's just a place where like-minded women can come together and talk about things. And it's very focused on health and wellness, right? Both, physical health, emotional, mental health and wellness, but also financial health, right? I mean, that's to me just as important as being healthy physically, right? And so today's special guest is the Miss Jenni Rae Oates. Thank you for coming. Yay! I wish I had some
Yay!
like background noise. Oh,
Oh,
so
I'm so
Jenni
excited
Rae.
to be here. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for coming. So Jenni Rae, for those who don't know, has been working with me and my team, and I'm beyond grateful to have her. I've seen such a big shift in my business already since she's been with me, so thank you for that. And she just, she's very humble and modest, so I am going to brag on her just a little bit. She has she's grown multiple six-figure businesses, a few of those in network marketing, right? Top 1% in the industry, network marketing industry, right? And she did all that, what, in your 20s? When you're in your 20s? When you started?
Started in my 20s, yeah. 20s and
Yes.
30s though.
Yeah, with young ones. Little, you have how many kids do you have?
I have three, but yeah, they were when I really started doing it, they were six, four, and one when we
Yeah.
started.
Yeah. So, and then of course you must have a business degree. You must have been qualified to do
Of
all of that.
course. No, I actually had a ministry degree. That was
Yeah.
it. I just loved helping people. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no business background, no business degree.
Yeah. So I love this. I love her story. It's so inspirational. So how long have you been in the network marketing industry?
I've been in the industry now, what is it? So since 2000. So
Okay.
gosh, 21 years.
21
It feels
years.
so weird to say that. I
I
started
know.
as a 19-year-old kid in a college dorm room because it sounded like a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, very smart. And how long have you been with doTERRA?
Since 2016.
2016. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So you have had a lot of success. I was thinking about you earlier. I don't know, something's happening to my lighting here. I was thinking about
Girl,
you.
it's your highlighter. It's
Yeah,
working.
I am glowing here. It's a little weird.
I think someone
Uh,
said we were glowing, so now
I,
you really are.
I know. Let me see if I can balance that out. But
The
I was
Lord
thinking
is
about
on
you
you.
when you when you joined doTERRA. For those of you who don't know, Jenni Rae hit the rank of diamond, which is one of the top ranks in doTERRA, within 30 days. Like her first 30 days, she hit diamond. Has anybody else ever done that?
No, our
Yeah.
upline, our my coach, mentor in the business had done it in 62 days. And when she mapped out a plan and it was a 30-day plan, I was like, okay, how many people have done this? And she was like, nobody. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, not even you? Because she's just amazing. I mean, she's
Right.
an amazing leader, amazing business builder, the top builder in the company. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way we can do this. But we had to. And that's all the story. But we had to. We were
Yeah.
walking away from income and had to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right. So I need to know what the secret to the success is. And I want to kind of like set this up with just kind of explaining my own story because when I started I'm just going to turn this light off and see if that helps. When I
It's
started,
okay. You look beautiful.
okay, thank you. When I started in this business, I was actually just very much focused on my own health, right? Because I just was not feeling well. I was just turning 40 and I was very concerned about like what the future was going to look like for
Hmm.
me health wise. And my husband was very much on board because he was also quite concerned about my health. And we sat through an essential oil intro to essential oils class, and he was the one who said to me, and I think this is going to be surprising to many people. He's the one who said to me, "You should look at this as a business." And I was like, well, it's just very out of character for him. And I probed a little bit after I started researching the company and stuff. I probed a little bit, and I'm like, tell me why you are encouraging this, because this don't sound like you.
Yeah.
And his response was, because there is a lot of money to be made in network marketing. And his father, that's what he did. His father did that
Wow.
while he's growing up, and his whole dad side of the family, they all do very, very well in network marketing. And so he knew what it could be. I, on the other hand, had, there's a stigma attached to network marketing, or at least it used to be. And I really didn't understand it. I thought, oh, is it a pyramid scheme? Is it get rich quick? What? It's not
Yeah.
realistic, right?
Right.
But being in it, 3 years is I started out just as like a side hustle, doing it on the side, but it now is my main source of income. And
That's awesome.
yeah, and so, but you, on the other hand, have taken it to a whole another level. So I'm so glad to have you mentoring me and guiding me. So tell the people, what is the secret to
The
success in this
people.
business?
Oh my goodness. There's so many secrets, right? And let me just start with saying, I think most people do start out, Danny, the way that you do is we have a health need in our life. We have something that is finally causing us enough pain that we're willing to do something about it. And a lot of times it comes to our health, because without your health, what do you have? Like, you have nothing. You
Mhm.
can't be with your family. Your quality of life is ruined. And honestly, that is how I started too. When I was 19, I was a Division I soccer player. I'd gotten a full ride scholarship to college, and I was still struggling and battling with digestive issues from an eating disorder I had in high school. And I'd really messed up my whole system. And so I was introduced to some products that literally changed my world. And that's how my journey of network marketing began. For most of us, it doesn't start with, "Ooh, I just want to go build a business, in something," because building a business sounds scary for most people. Being an entrepreneur can sound scary for most people. Most people like the idea of
Mhm.
time freedom, of having control of your life, but what does it really mean? And I think that's one of the things that, before I get into the 5 things I want to give you, that I love so much about this industry, and why in the world would I still be doing it? After 21 years, I have built other businesses, and yet I'm still here. I'm still here building this one, because there is so many things about entrepreneurship. I would say the statistic is really, really high. I don't want to give anything wrong, but it is in the 80s of the amount of people that say they want time freedom, they want control of their life, they want to be an entrepreneur, and yet when they start doing something, it's so much to think about. It's so hard to do. They just give up, and then so they go back to the consistent paycheck, which isn't wrong and isn't bad, and is for the majority of the world. But the thing about network marketing that is so unique and so special is it's almost like there's so many things you need to learn and grow in, but it's like a business in a box, literally. It's
Yeah,
like
it is.
you buy this box, you get a kit, and then you have a company that's manufacturing products. You're not the one out there doing the research. You're not the one trying to go overseas and get prototypes made. And just, if you're going to sell a physical product, if you're selling a service or whatever, you still have to do all the groundwork, because I've done those businesses too. I've built a fitness business, I have a coaching business, I have multiple businesses. And when I look at what network marketing provides for moms, dads, regular people like me that had zero background in business, it was everything that I needed to get my start and stay because it's just got it all. Like, somebody else is doing this whole half of the business for you that you never have to do. They're shipping your products, they're advertising, they're creating all the digital assets. They're doing so much for us. And then we have our role that we play. We have our things, and I'll talk about that. But I think, just to even just kick this off, I would love for some of you, if time freedom, if wanting control of your life is something that you want, or if there's something else, what is it? Drop it in the comments and tell Danny and I What is it that you are wanting in your life right now that's even got you tuning in today on a Friday? You could be anywhere else. Why are you listening to this? Or if you watch this in post, just drop a comment and tell us, what do you really want? I know for me, a huge thing that I wanted, and it may sound like so trivial, but I wanted to travel. I'd been in the same school, same home for 17 years, went off to college, and then did that and just started having kids. A month after we got married, I had four children in 6 years. One of our children passed away, and I had never traveled. And so when I saw that with a company like this, you can travel. I've been on 9 all expense paid trips. I've
Wow.
literally traveled the world. I've been to Bora Bora, I've been to Paris, Africa, all these places that I would have never been able as a girl from Ringgold, Georgia, tiny little town of nowhere outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Like, I would have never been able to do those things. So the amount of opportunities that it has afforded me. So we've got some people saying time freedom.
Mhm.
Yeah, tell us what you want. What is it that you wanted? I wanted time freedom. I wanted financial freedom. Danny, you mentioned that. Just we take care of our health. And that's the way a lot of us are introduced to companies like this, a network marketing company.
Mhm.
But we don't realize how much stress and strain financial things put on a marriage. One of the number one causes for divorce in a marriage is losing a child. Been there, done that. Second is job loss and financial stress, debt. So that was a goal of ours, was like, okay, we've already checked the box of bearing a child, and
Mhm.
already the odds are against us. 98% of people who do that don't make it in marriage. And we have these other 3 children to think about.
Yeah.
But then whenever it was like, my husband lost 2 jobs back to back,
Mhm.
and that's what actually thrust us into looking at this as a real business. Up until then, I'd been doing what most people do, which is most people have a life, they have a job. I was juggling babies and I was working my business in the nooks and crannies of my life. I was
Mhm.
just working it in when I could. Okay, they've got a nap. I'm going to get 10 minutes in, or I'm going to make some phone calls here, whatever. Um, but after our son passed away, my husband lost a job. 18 months later, lost another job. It was like, we are tired of having somebody else decide for us our stress level when it comes to our finances,
Mhm.
decide for us if we can eat tomorrow or not. Like, we have authority over this. We have so much more inside of us, and we can do this. And
Mhm.
so that was back in 2009. We decided to go all in together. And in 12 months, we built a business to 6 figures. And it started really with that decision. Like, we stopped messing around, we stopped playing around. It was like, okay, it's time to do this for real. So I hope you don't have to lose a job or lose everything to go all in. But for us, that's what it took, was like, okay, we're serious. We had been in a season of eating beans and rice. You've heard me say that. I was selling everything I could on Craigslist. We didn't even have Facebook Marketplace at that point. And I remember the day that I was standing in my dining room and this woman had come. She was coming to pick something up on from Craigslist. And she looked over and she looked at my dining room rug and she was like, "Can I have that? Can I buy that too?" And I immediately said yes, because it was like, everything's for sale. What, I mean, I just need to like pay the mortgage.
Mhm.
And as she rolled it up and walked out the door, I remember sitting there sobbing. And I'm
Mhm.
like, it's just a rug. It's just a rug. And I'm like, but it's not. Like, it was a representation of like everything. I was just watching all of my stuff
Right.
leave. And if I could show you guys a picture, our house looked like we were moving. Our entire downstairs was empty. No couches, no tables, no rugs, no dining room table. I sold a dining room table to start a business.
Mhm.
So when I say that it's not been all shiny, like, it's not
Mhm.
been like, oh, she's got these 6 figure businesses and they just happened. It was something for us that took some sacrifice. And I know
Mhm.
for most people, it doesn't take that extreme. You're not in that extreme of a situation. And I'm glad. But for
Mhm.
me, it was the fuel to a fire that started in me, that actually showed me what I could do. I
Yeah.
would have settled. I would have settled, right, Danny? I know that you probably would too, in our lives, if we don't hit these critical tipping point moments in our stories where it's like, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Do I want to keep being the person that says, well, I'll try it?
Right.
Guys, trying is attempt to fail. Am I going to keep being that person that sits on my couch and watches the Travel Channel, wishing I could travel and
Mhm.
living life vicariously through the tube instead of like
Yeah.
living it?
Living it.
Like, is
Right.
that what I'm going to do? Am I going to keep settling for the round and round arguments with my spouse because I'm so stressed out about money when there's something I could learn how to do or something I could contribute. And that was the tipping point that I needed was this doesn't have to be my life. I can create anything I want to create. I just don't know how. So I need to learn how.
Right.
And so those are some of the 5 things that I want to walk you through that I had to just check for myself to see if they all aligned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, let's hear it. I want to hear the secret. I know all the people. I see some of the comments. Y'all are cracking me up. I
Oh,
see
I'm missing them.
some
What are we
of the
saying?
comments. So let's hear that they want it. The people want to know the
The
secret to
people want to
success.
know.
Yes.
So it's important. I think I'm going to talk to you from the context of assuming maybe you're sitting there watching, trying to decide if a network marketing company is right for you, or you've met Danny and you know she's with doTERRA and you've kind of been watching, you've been one of those stalkers online, or you're like a peeper, like, huh, what she's got going on over there looks good, is
Right.
interesting, but is it real? Is it real?
Mhm.
And so I want to give you 5 things because I can tell you, I can assure you, Danny and I would both raise our hands to say we were right where you are. We were skeptical. We were probably like, I don't know. I was so skeptical. That's why I dabbled in it for so long. I remember looking at my husband saying, there is no way on God's green earth this kind of a business can provide for a family of 5. 12 months later, we're standing on stage. We've built a 6-figure income. I had no idea what was really possible with this. And I think that's where we're so limited in our thinking.
Mhm.
So I want to just talk to those of you who you're really just questioning for yourself, what has to give, what needs to be right and in alignment for me to really say yes to this.
Mhm.
And the first thing that I would say is the right company. You have to partner with the right company because that's what it is. It's a partnership. As I said at the beginning of this, if you joined in a little bit later, I love network marketing so much because that partnership that it creates, they do their part, we do our part, and it makes this amazing thing. And it eliminates so much of the hard things that a normal entrepreneur would have to do to build their business from the bottom up, from scratch. And so whenever I'm saying right company, that there's a lot of really good companies out there. I have a lot of friends in the network marketing industry who are doing really well. So what is right? What does it mean? Right company. These are a couple things that for me are a big deal. The company's growing. Is it in growth? doTERRA's run rate is well over $2 billion. And I know plenty of companies out there that are under 500,000. So what does that mean? What that means is, doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, doesn't mean that company's horrible. It just means doTERRA is a company that when I looked at it, when I was exploring it in 2016, y'all, let me just add this caveat really fast. This is important for you to know. I built with one company for 16 years. And some of the things that I'm going to tell you are the 5 things that I had to evaluate of why I walked away from a 6-figure massive business to start over. I left everything and everyone and started over and did it again. So I've done this twice from the ground up, from 0 people, starting over. And these 5 things were so in alignment. And when I looked at these 5 things, they were no longer true of where I was. That was the reason for a shift, because these things can be true of the day that you start, but over 16 years, there was things that I saw. There was a lot of attrition. There was the goal of building this business is to build a residual income. So many people don't believe that you can, right? I have a residual income where multiple seasons of my family's journey, this business has carried us through, and it's been amazing. And so why would I be willing to walk away from everything and literally lose a paycheck overnight and start over? It's because doTERRA was the right company. I walked through the doors and saw this is a company in growth. This is a company that in a industry, the health industry is a it's a $1 trillion industry, you guys. So just think about it like a piece of a pie. If you had a tiny even sliver of a $1 trillion industry pie, like I think you'd be okay. Like
Yeah,
you wouldn't
I'll
have
take
the
it.
stress, right? So you have to have a company that's in growth, that is really a player in the game in that industry. And doTERRA is one of the top players in the game in the health and wellness space. They are growing as a company, they are growing as a staff, they're expanding, creating medical offices that are holistic medical offices, like a combination. I mean, just the amount of innovation that the company does, which that's amazing. Because remember, as an entrepreneur, if it was just me at home starting my own business, I have to do that. I
Yeah.
have to do the innovating. I have to come up with the new ideas to keep my company in growth. Because if we aren't in growth as a company, we're in maintenance. And you can only stay in maintenance for so long before you start going into decline. So when I look at the right company, it's a company that's not in maintenance, because I know on the other side of maintenance, if they are not innovating and doing things to get into growth, they're in decline. Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
Yep.
And doTERRA is doing, I mean, every year, our convention's coming. There are things that new products they innovate on. There are new ideas, and it's just amazing. Those are things that I get to partake in as a wellness advocate and just run with in my business. Another thing with that is that a company is going to follow through. The right company is that they're going to follow through on what they say. I mean, this is crazy, guys, but I have friends that have built and they built for months and then the checks just stop coming. And they're like, what's going on? Those are the horror stories that you
Hmm.
hear of this industry, but you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Have you ever had a bad doctor visit? But you
Yep.
don't stop believing in doctors because
Right.
of one bad doctor, one bad visit. You have to have a bigger perspective, bigger vision. There are just certain companies that aren't the right company. They didn't have the infrastructure to support the growth or their people, and that's what doTERRA has for us. So right company is number one when I look at it, and doTERRA has checked so many of those boxes. Number two for me is right products. So as Danny was getting on, just putting on all her oils and all that, you want to look at a company, and it's really important to know that in order for you to succeed in network marketing, you have to have the right products. So what I mean by that, for me, that criteria is maybe different than for you. But for me, right products meant they were natural. It meant that they weren't loaded with preservatives and things that were going to actually harm my body or my children. That was part of my definition of right products. I didn't want to, I knew I could get out there and share things, but I also wanted to be able to put my head on my pillow at night and just feel like, man, I have done right by my friends and family. Man, I am so proud of the products that I'm sharing with my friends and family because they work. So that is probably such a big thing for me,
Whew. Yes.
is that they work. So that is huge. I mean, one of my first experiences with oils, and I was one of those people that was so skeptical of oils. And it's almost humorous. People that know me now like see where I'm at and they're like, you do oils? Because they know like I could have like I had arguments against oils until I'd lived so long with migraines, so long with things, even though I was doing all the healthy stuff. I was in a health company prior to doTERRA. And somebody said, just try peppermint. Like, stop being so hard headed. Maybe that's why your head hurts. And so I tried peppermint and I was like, oh, this is so dumb. It's not going to work. And I was on vacation with my family. They were out, we were on the beach. They were playing soccer and a migraine came on. You know, you're squinting in the sun and it's like, they're just awful. I would get 10 to 20 a month. They were,
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
just like horrible. And so I went back to the room. I remembered this little sample that somebody had given me, a friend of mine, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, do I lay down my pride? Do I lay down my ego? Because I had like arguments that oils are dumb, they don't work, they're for hokey, weird people. And so I tried this oil in like the quiet of my room. I'm like, are there cameras? I mean, literally, this is how skeptical I'm going like this. I mean, I was like an athlete, and for whatever reason, I just had associated oils with like, yeah, like weird, you
Yeah.
know, like
Uh-huh.
it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I smelled, I did the whole thing with peppermint, closed my eyes, lay down on the bed, and like opened my eyes about 10 minutes later. And I was like, okay, is this a placebo? Maybe it is. But I went back and I was like, maybe if some's good, more's better. Don't apply that. That was like something I learned later is probably not to do. But I did. I got more peppermint, tried it one more time. And within a few minutes, literally, you guys, the migraine had lifted. I went bounding down the steps back to the beach. And my family was shocked because they normally knew when this hit, like mom's gone. Like
Mhm.
it wiped me out of dinner with the family. I would be gone for the whole night. And so, anyways, they were just like, are you okay? Did you forget something? I'm like, no, I feel great. Pass me the ball, you know? So
That's
it
awesome.
was so awesome for me to see that the right products. And one thing that I loved with doTERRA was that it was so easy. Somebody could share it with me and I could try it right then.
Right.
Other products that were like protein shakes and supplements, I love those things. I use those things. doTERRA has those, but I couldn't share those very easily with
Hmm.
people. I can whip it out. I'm like one of those weird people now that I like, I'm like, do you want an oil? You want to try it? Like, I hear you're coughing or whatever,
I don't know for that. Yeah, I love it.
So, it's amazing. So the right product is a really big thing. This is the last thing I'll say about the right product.
Mhm.
This is how you actually know, one, it works, and two, people keep buying it. So where I was before, and a lot of companies in our country, they chance on ingredients. They they just do the thing to sell the product, okay? And so retention is huge. When we're talking right now, guys, about building a business, creating wealth for yourself. We know the products work. But when we look at the time and effort you're going to invest today, because remember, as a mom, I was working in the nooks and crannies of my life, trying to take 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here. I want that to have an ROI, a return on investment. Whatever
Absolutely.
I invest, I want it to come back to me.
Absolutely.
So I ran some numbers and saw that my retention rate was less than 6% where I
Mm.
was prior. What that means is out of 100 people purchasing, only six reorder.
Yeah.
That was so disheartening, but it made sense why I felt like I had a leaky bucket. I'm
Mm.
enrolling, I'm sharing, I'm doing the thing year after year after year after year. And guess what I created for myself? Not a residual business. I created a job that I owned that I had to show up for.
Yeah.
That's what I created. I had
Yeah.
a job. I had to go to work every day and do the whole thing all
All in
over again.
buckets. Yeah.
Yeah, because it had a leaky bucket because there was no retention.
Mhm.
94 people were disappearing every month, and I had to go find more.
Yeah.
So, for some of you listening, that's not good news because you only have so much time you can work a business in a day. But with doTERRA, you guys, the retention rate is 70%, 70 plus percent. And when I saw that number, I was like, hold up. Because I researched, I'm a researcher. I looked at so many different companies. There was nothing even close to it
Mhm.
that holds a candle to our retention. Why? Because these little suckers work.
Whew.
And there's
Yes.
so many things that you can do with them. You can incorporate it into every aspect of your life, not just rubbing it on. You could take a bath, you can clean, you can cook, I mean,
Mhm.
every aspect of our day. So that was exciting. That was like, okay, that's smart business. It's the right product, and I'm going to be investing my time once, and it's going to stay for a
Yes.
greater number of people, right?
Yep. That's
It's
the
amazing.
residual. Yes.
That's the residual. So if some of you guys are wanting, and it's not magic. Yes, we work it, we educate, we pour into people, we help them understand how to use their oils. There's things we do. So I can't even cover all of that in this video, but I want you to know. So I'm not feeding you, a bunch of like BS here. Like
Right.
it does, but there's things we also do on the backside as business owners, as responsible business owners to care for our customers as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so right company, right product. The third thing, Danny, is right leadership.
Yes.
We have got to have the right leadership. Now, I'm talking about in this one, company leadership.
Mhm.
A lot of people will purchase a product and never once think about who's at the helm of the company. They don't even think about it because they're so detached and so far away from that leader that it doesn't really matter to them
Mhm.
until it does, until the formulas change on the product, until the products disappear, until the company goes a different direction. If you're building with a company, so not talk about products, let's talk about the business builder. Like if you're building with a company and you have the wrong leadership at the helm, control, heart making slow decisions, not staying current with what's happening in culture or what the people want. Like those are all things that can slow down your growth. Another
Changing
thing,
changing compensation plans.
changing compensation plans. Oh, it's happened so many times. And since I've been at doTERRA, nothing has changed other than addition.
Mhm.
They have continued to find ways to put more money into the pockets of people that are just starting out.
Mhm.
And so, and they're still working on it. I mean, I'm still hearing the conversations happening. How can we get more money sooner to
Right.
people, which
Yeah.
is so awesome.
Yeah.
So when I look at leadership, one thing that was a big thing for me to evaluate was, you've heard the phrase companies rise and fall on leadership. It is so true. If I'm going to stake my claim with a company and put my name on it, I'm going to announce it on Facebook, I'm going to talk to my friends and family. I want to make sure that the leadership is solid. And one thing that I actually loved about doTERRA was that they had 7 people in leadership, not just one.
Mhm.
It totally changed the dynamic of this company because I'm familiar with the model where it's just the main guy at the top and there's kind of voices under him, but he's the decision maker and he's it. doTERRA has a checks and balance with their 7 executive team, and it's amazing. I've met them all. I love them all, and they are just solid people, the most generous people that you will ever meet. And when you hear their story of how they even started this company, there was 3 of them that started, a 4th came on quickly, and then the other 3 came. They all like liquidated every asset that they had. They lived the beans and rice stories. They took their kids out of every single extra thing, recitals, sports. They sacrificed to start it. It started in a library and they started with the main thing, all of their assets. They pulled them together and they put all of their money into the right product. They wanted to make sure that the product was right, that it would work, that it was pure, that it was clean. That's what they did. But their families did not take checks for nearly 2 years. Nothing. They didn't touch it. They just scrimped and made it work. They worked second jobs. So when I look at that, I'm like, okay, I've done that as somebody out here on the ground selling the products. And if the corporate people are willing to do that too, and that's the foundation of this company, that's amazing. That's amazing.
It is. And one of the things that really impressed me when I was looking into doTERRA was the fact that they did all of that and they are now debt free. And I love it. And that was what my goal was. I was trying to get out of debt. And I'm like, this company and I are on the same page. I love it. Yes.
Yeah, and they have a huge program helping their wellness advocates get out of debt. I mean, they practice what they preach. They are so big on debt-free living because, again, they understand that the top 2 things that challenge marriages are losing a child and financial issues and stress and debt. And so they're so big on that. They're not like promoting fancy things and just go like get the best cars and look to everybody else, project this image to everybody of success when you don't really have it. It's a propped up image. I'm just not about that. I'm not about that. And neither is the company. Guys, I have driven like a chippy minivan like this for like 20 years. I mean, literally its nickname is Chippy because it's like losing its paint. And I had a discovery the other day. So I love to paint furniture. I love to distress furniture and just make it look super cool. I like to find things in the trash, turn them into something really amazing. And I was like, what? I like my cars like I like my furniture. Like it's all distressed. Like there's nothing wrong with this, right?
I love it.
I just recently did get a car for the first time because I had to. So anyways, but it's just even that is like from the like had I been somewhere else, I would have felt the pressure of like, you know what? I need to have the fanciest cars, and it's not bad to have that, but I would have felt the pressure of I've got to put an appearance of success. What I wanted was real success that translated to my family, that creates a legacy. I've got an almost 19-year-old, 17-year-old, and 13-year-old that have watched their mom build a business from the time they were 6, 4, and 1. They have seen the tears, they've seen the sacrifice, and they've seen the highs. They've been on every one of those trips with us. They were talking the other day about traveling to Mexico. Mom, do you remember that starfish we found in the ocean? Like, it was amazing. And when you go on these trips, the company, the leadership is with you, and they're real people. They're touchable. You got to meet them, right? Like, tell us about that. You just recently got flown out. Like, Danny, let me just tell you guys, because Danny's not going to tell you this. She was one of like 25 people that was picked out of all of doTERRA. doTERRA right now is over 5 million people, you guys. That's how big our company is. Danny was one of 25 that were handpicked by our leadership team, because she's growing, because she's on fire, because she has amazing leadership skills, loves her people well. They flew her out to Utah to do this amazing training. And oh my goodness, so awesome. So you tell us, was the leadership the real deal?
They were
real people.
They were real people. I was shocked. You know, they actually knew who I was before I came. So I you know, Emily, when I met Emily, she's like, oh, I've been waiting to meet you. I'm like, really?
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, they were just so relatable, so kind, and the kind of people that you want to do business with. And it really does. It matters. It makes a big difference.
Makes such a difference. We can pretend it doesn't and ignore it, like I said, until you can't, until something goes sideways and you're like, oh, I didn't know. But with this, you can rest assured. And so some of the questions that I asked myself in looking into doTERRA, and you might be asking yourself some of these questions too, is when you look at leadership, is what's the track record? what is the track record that these leaders have? And what have they done in the past? And what is their character? What is the integrity that they choose to live their life with? Are they practicing what they preach? And one of the things when you look at track record, I know 4 of the 7 executives have taken other companies to billion-dollar companies. So they didn't just do this with doTERRA. They've done this with other companies as well. One of them actually took a former company internationally to over $1 billion. So what does that tell me as this little mom sitting at home in my house outside of Nashville, Tennessee? What that tells me and what that tells you is, okay, these are like next level players. Like they know how to build companies. They know how to create infrastructure and systems. They know scalability. So going from 0 to billions of dollars, they know how to scale something. So they probably can help me, because what am I wanting to do at home? I'm wanting to scale a business. I'm wanting to do the same thing. I want to mirror what they've done. And if somebody has also taken a business internationally and taken doTERRA internationally to over $1 billion, as well as another one, well, I want that opportunity too. I mean, do I think I'm going to build tomorrow in China or in one of our other companies or countries that are open? I don't know, but I want the opportunity. I want the options, because that's how I scale. That's how we keep growing. So right company, right products, right leadership. 4th, for me, I always explored right team. The team matters. The team matters, you guys, because these are the people. You're linking arms and partnering with the leadership of a company, but you are linking arms for real, day in and day out, right, Danny? Like we're texting each other, we're calling each other.
Yes.
You have got to evaluate the team that you're joining and ask, can they take me where I want to go? Can they help me do what I want to do? Can they help me be who I want to be? And when I was looking at making this shift, it was so scary. It was my get out of the boat, walk on the water moment, like full of faith, like, okay, I'm burning the ship behind me and walking away from this previous business, starting over completely. How am I going to do it? I have to have the right team around me that is strategic, that knows how to do it fast, because I need to replicate my paycheck from last month, this month. But I got nothing. I'm starting at 0. So what do I do? So one of the things I realized is that we are all going to hit a lid in our life. We're all going to hit a place. Like I've been building for how many years in doTERRA? I've hit some lids along the way. What I need is a team around me that can say, well, what about this? Have you thought about this? Let's up level here. Let's try this. And that's the most amazing thing, to have that mentorship and that support. I have that. And that's something that I want to pass on to other people. Danny, you have that, and you pass that on to other people. So when they pour into me, I pour into you, you pour in, it goes down the line. And it's amazing. So our leader, I mean, just, I told you how amazing she is. Our leader in doTERRA, like directly above me, that's mentoring me. She makes over 6 figures every single month, you guys. So I was like, I think she can show me how to build a 6-figure business. She does this monthly, like repeat. And again, one of the most generous people that you will ever meet. Generous, kind, hasn't moved out of the house that she's been in. I mean, just amazing, kind-hearted, generous people. So the right people, right team, right leadership, all of that. The last thing, the 5th thing, is the right time. All right, here's where the rubber meets the road, right? Yeah, so timing is different for everybody. And when we started out in network marketing, the timing was now. We were desperate. We were eating beans and rice. I was so tired of it. I wanted some chicken. I was done. I was so done with it. I was like, I can't have another bean ever in my life. They were cheap. They were 99 cents. It worked. And, you know, I wanted toilet paper for real. Like we were like rationing toilet paper to our kids. And I'm like, I just want, like, my goal in life is to be able to pull that roll and just keep pulling it and just not stress about like how much I'm pulling or that my kids are pulling. And so timing is so important for all of us when we look in our life at like where we're at, what's aligning for us. But I want to challenge you with this thing, with this thought is, if not now, when? Like truly, if not now, when? The timing is such a tricky thing because so many of us use it as an excuse. So many people use timing. It's not the right time. It's not the right time. When? What does that mean to you? When will it be the right time? What are you going to need and require to have to all line up for you to be able to go for it. Not try, but go for it.
Make it happen.
To make it happen. And for me, it wasn't so much that all of a sudden it was just this perfect timing. It was that life hurt bad enough for me to say, I'm tired of being here. I am ready. I'm ready right now in this moment to do something about it. I'm going all in. And whatever it takes. I mean, that's my business. So if you see my handle on here, the WIT life, it is the whatever it takes life. That is what I do. Is I help people like Danny. I help people. I help myself. I help my kids. My girls are starting businesses of doing whatever it takes and having that kind of mentality. And it doesn't have to mean hustle, grind, blood, sweat, and tears. What I've learned over the years is it's a combination of it's just commitment. It's decision combined with healthy timing, healthy, all of it. So my question is, where do you really want to be in the next 12 months? Like at the same job that you complain about, yet you do nothing about. Right. For most of us, we are so quick to complain. And I want you to take note. If you're listening to this live, I challenge you to take note of the things that you complain about the most. What do you complain about? What are you constantly frustrated about? What are you constantly feeling overwhelmed about? And is it time? Is it the right time right now to make a shift? It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. If it was easy, 5 out of 5 million people, more than 25 would have been there. But Danny's been willing to do whatever it takes and go, I'm willing to do it. And you're in the middle of transition right now. You're in the middle of transition with your job, right?
I am. It's interesting that you say that. It's like, you get to a point. I have made the same complaint about my life for many years, right? This is not the life that I want. This is not the life that I want. This is not the life that I want, right? And, for me, we talk about the earning potential with doTERRA, which is incredible, right? For a lot of us, well, I'll speak for myself, it just making a lot of money is not motivating for me. That's not the motivating factor to me. I can live on a very small income.
Yeah.
It's about living the life that I want to live, right? It's about living a life for me, that the dream is a life of service to others. It's to be able to up and go when I want to. And that requires money. It requires money, right? And so long as we're, and like you said, it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. But for me, it's like, as long as I am stuck behind freedom. I'm stuck behind a desk and I'm stuck on someone else's time. That is a hindrance. I said to my husband, you know what I'd love to do? I would love to just get in the car and do a cross country trip. And why can't we do that? We should be able to do it. We're in our 40s. We should be able to do that. Because that
desk right? You're chained to will be dragging behind you.
Exactly. Because of work, right? And so, so for me, it was like, okay, are we going to do this? Are we going to make this happen? Yeah, we're going to make this happen. And so it's scary. It's very scary, but you told me we're going to do it scared. Yes, we did. And so, I did. I actually had a critical conversation with my boss yesterday, and let him know, so doTERRA is actually now my job.
Yes, that's
and
awesome.
I let him know, this is the journey that I've been on, and this company is amazing, and they are supporting me, and they've noticed my little team down here, and they're investing in us, and I have the best mentor and the best leaders that are helping me to push it to the next level. And it's the time. Now is the time. I need to go all in. I appreciate this job. I love my job, and I love the leadership and everything. But this is going to help facilitate the life that that I want, right? So the transition is underway. It's underway.
Woohoo, confetti.
Yes, I'm so excited. So now my time and energy fully can go to, from a secular perspective, can go to doTERRA. So the timing is right now.
And time is right. That is amazing, Danny. I think I just think each one of us could probably do what you just said. What is that dream? What is that thing that you really want? Why? Why would you even consider something like this? So looking at what's frustrating and what's hard and what's overwhelming, what you're complaining about, but we can't stay stuck there. Where do we want to go? And what I think about, so this is a bonus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the bonus. Is I love to think about this, this business like a car. So in certain seasons of my life, I might need the Prius because I need some incredible gas mileage and I need to go the distance. And other seasons of my life, I might need the Ford Raptor to get up the mountain, like I'm going to
Yeah,
need something different for each season. And so my question for you is like, what do you need right now at this season of your life? If this is what's hurting and this is what you're complaining about and this is what you're so done with and this is where you want to be, what is the vehicle that's going to help you get there? Is
absolutely.
it the job that you're still working? Again, I'm not saying leave your job. Be responsible. Most people do this on the side and they just make the sacrifices. What are you willing to do for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, even if that's what it takes? The average diamond in doTERRA makes $17,000 a month. And on average, it takes them 2 years to build it. If it took you 2 years to build to a $17,000 residual income, month over month over month, would it be worth it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we
And
can all say
And to
yes.
some people, they might go, no, okay, well, in 2 years, I'll see you because you may be in the same place that you are
Yeah,
today,
right.
complaining about the same things that have been bothering you. And it does take somebody that has enough of that commitment to say, yes, I really want to do that. And I'm willing to be consistent. I'm willing to show up. I'm willing to do the things for the next 2 years or for the next year. It doesn't have to be 2 years. I took 2 years and was like, that ain't gonna work for me. 30 days. What do we gotta
30
do?
days. I love
So
it.
you can do crazy, and I'm not the only one. I have team members. I helped one team member do it 2 years. She did it in 5 months. Helped another team member do it in 3 months. Guys, like you get to decide. You are the one holding the pen, writing your story. You're
Absolutely.
writing it. What is the story that you want to write? What's the story you want to be telling in 3 months, in 12 months, in 2 years from now? What's the story you want to tell your kids? What is the legacy that you want to leave for them to show them? There's so much here, and you can tell I get so passionate about it because
Yeah,
it has literally changed our life.
right.
I'm sitting here, if I showed you guys right now, remember, I went from no furniture in a house, multiple job losses, grieving the loss of burying a child, to I'm sitting in this house right now, like I'm trying to make sure you can't see much because it's a house that we just bought. It's an investment property. We have multiple houses that we've just been able to purchase. And I'm sitting here in Lynchburg, Virginia, about to outfit Airbnbs because that's one of our
Love
dreams as
it.
a family.
Yeah.
It was one of our dreams as a family to have multiple properties that we can also use for people who lose children. Somebody
Mhm.
gave us a house and said, go, just get away, just stay. Our son's name is Hosea. We want multiple Hosea homes all across the country where
Oh,
people can just come and like have some respite to walk through grief and loss. We also want to just bless people with them. So this is what we're here doing this week as I'm taking a
wow.
second
That's
to talk with you
awesome.
guys. And it's real, you guys, and it takes time. And that's why it's so important to have the right team around you because it's not
Yeah.
all going to be easy. And you have to have those people like a Danny that can say, we got this, we're
We
doing
got it.
this.
Yes.
So, friends, take some time. Think about it. Think about what's hurting. Think about where you want to be, and think about that vehicle. Take these 5 things and hold it up and go, is doTERRA the right vehicle for me in this season of my life to get in the car, to drive me where I want to go? And if it is, my recommendation would be to reach out to this amazing woman that you see in the top of the screen because she's on fire, you guys. She's incredible. She has the talent, the skill, the system. She's got it. She's just amazing. And it's been such a blessing and honor for me to work with her.
Oh man, I've got Jenny too, so that's the that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, we've got
Teamwork.
team. Listen,
I didn't do it alone. I didn't do it
team,
alone.
teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah, we do have a really amazing team, and the time really is right now for us to take it to the next level. So Diamond by December is my goal. Working hard to make that happen, making sacrifices, stepping away from another job, and we'll
And
see
how
how.
awesome is it to leave a job that you actually like the people? You're not leaving because you hate them. You're not leaving
Right.
because how awesome is that to be like, love you all, but see
Right.
ya.
And I told my boss yesterday, I said, you know what's so amazing about doTERRA is that I am gone, but I can still be here to help you. I can
Yeah,
still help
because you'd
transition
have time.
and make sure that she's ready. You know what I mean? I love that. I love that. And so yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And I see lots of people from my team on on the live chiming in, and yes, we've got a really good thing going, and we're growing. So
Yes,
yes,
I
it's
love your team. Your team is an amazing team. Anybody that gets to work with you guys and be on your team calls. I've been on your team calls and just everybody is so beautiful, so kind, and just
yeah.
has such great hearts.
Yeah. It's really nice to be surrounded by those kind of people all the time. So I'm so grateful for this whole experience, and I'm so grateful for you for taking time to join us today.
Absolutely,
And
girl. I saw somebody
so
say save the recording. So whatever you got to
yes,
do on your end to save it. I don't think I can. But you
yes, I
guys
will
are
save it.
amazing.
I will save it. We will post it, and you guys, if you have other questions, let us know. And
Yeah.
yeah, thanks again. We'll be back for another Girl Talk after next week. Not next week is convention. We'll be there to get all the. We'll be watching virtually to get all the goodies. I'm
Yes.
excited to see what new products they have,
That's
and we'll
awesome.
be back the week after next with some more goodness. So
You're
thank you, Jenni
welcome,
Rae. Thanks
guys.
to everybody
Yeah.
for
Thank you all
joining.
for joining us.
Yes, have a good
Bye.
one. Bye.